This video has been certainly long overdue. What better time than now? We're going to be covering three major points, being Bitcoin, Pepe, and the crypto market as a whole. I guess we'll just dive right into it. It's Bitcoin Benji today, but otherwise you know where to find me. I know there's tons of drawings on the chart. I've been doing research and just trying to see if there's any trends that I can catch on to. During the 2014 period, I wasn't even taking Bitcoin seriously. I was just becoming aware of cryptocurrency as a whole. It obviously went well because thereafter we had some upside, just kind of the trend that we're going to be talking about with Bitcoin as a whole here. All of these orange lines, these are when Bitcoin has had a halving. That is when the circulating supply as a whole gets cut in half. This happens every 4 years. It's subject to change. As you can see, we have run-ups basically every time there's a halving. So after every single one of these orange lines, we've had big movements to the upside, which is awesome. Over the past 4 halving cycles, which we've had one in 2012, 2016, 2020, and we are going to be having one in about a month from now, in April of 2024. I think the date as of today is about April 16th or something like that. Presumably, if history is to repeat itself, a nice bull run to follow. Something that's super important to note as well, if you haven't heard it already, this is the first time that Bitcoin has surpassed a new all-time high prior to the halving. So you can see right here we have an all-time high in 2013, 7.5 months after the halving, and that bull market gave returns of 1,600%. So that's like 16x on your money. That's pretty good. It was at this point I started to understand halving cycles in full, and that there's almost seasons to the crypto market, and we didn't see another all-time high until after the halving. The last one was 7.5 months. This one's 6.5 months. So ever so slightly decreasing the time it takes to make a new all-time high, which is interesting, but nothing crazy to note, I would say. And then we have this bull run that started in 2020, basically our last run prior to where we are now. And this was a little odd. We had 2 tops, but this was a nice run. Last one was 1,600%. This one was 300% from the new all-time high. If we want to measure it from the bottom, we have a 700% gain for long-term holders, which is spectacular. For some of you that held through this, I'm sure the whiplash was a little odd, and then we spent like a year looking for new lows, dropping about 80%. And that's been a common theme too. Every bull market, there is about an 80% pullback to follow. From 2016 to 2020, 83% pullback. And then from 2012 to 2016, again, an 80% pullback. So that's certainly common once we are looking to find a new low. You can see that gains are drastically decreasing. We had 1,600% from 2016 to 2020, and now we're rocking like a 300% from 2020 to 2024. It gives me a lot of optimism going forward, especially for 2025, entering this new bull market, because we're seeing such an upswing prior to, again, the halving. And we are at this point writing history, and history is bound to repeat itself. It's also important to note that with adoption growing at a very nice pace, we also have longer bull markets. This one was 1 month, and then we have the 2016 to 2017 bull market that lasted 9.5 months. So that's exponentially longer than the first bull market. And then we have this third bull market here, which lasted, I'd say 12 months. It's up to us to interpret where this next bull market is going to go. And to be honest with you, anything in regard to a new ATH, they're happening faster and more frequent as adoption continues to grow. Something that's stayed consistent over the last 4 halving cycles is the distance between the high and the low in price discovery mode when we're in the, well, when we're exiting a bull market, entering a bear market basically, and then that time that it takes from a low to the halving. From the low to the halving, that will probably drastically decrease as adoption increases, in my opinion, but so far for the last 4 cycles, it's been 17 months. So we'll just interpret that this next cycle, it's going to take 17 months. You can assume that 17 months prior to April 15th of 2028 is when the low will be in. Start loading your bags, or load the boat, in other words. My outlook overall is that Bitcoin is super bullish, and that bull runs will only become longer and more aggressive over time, and consistency will likely fade in predictability when it comes to the halving and market cycles, because again, as we see more adoption and big money coming into the space from, let's just say government as a major one, we're going to see a lot more manipulation as well, just like the stock market. But we're not there yet. It's only really just beginning. 2.7% of people in the world own cryptocurrency, which I think is absolutely insane. That's like the total market. That includes meme coins, that includes your mains like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, whatever. It was per crypto.com that 219 million people in the world own cryptocurrency, and that's a super small amount of the population because we're at like 7.8 billion people in the world, and this seems to be like the cheapest, fastest means of transportation when it comes to transacting energy from one place to another. And then another thing to note is that of the, let's just round up, 3% of the people that own cryptocurrency in the world, the studies also show that 51%, I would say on the low end, kind of like an at least, own Bitcoin. It's almost like the holy grail or your S&P 500 for the entire crypto market because it's the first. I think going forward, we might see a lot more mini bull runs too, as opposed to these longer bull runs. This next one I think will be something of a super cycle because there's going to be a lot of marketing going into play with ETFs being released and approved. We have some ETFs coming up for like May 20 something, like maybe May 23rd or something. Don't quote me on that, for an ETF on Ethereum. We'll just watch, grab your popcorn, and let's see what happens. I hope that they approve it. I don't know when their last or latest deadline is to approve it. I know that's what went on with Bitcoin. There is a date where they reconvene and make a decision, or they push it off, and usually they push it off until the very last date. And we have to really see what the Bitcoin ETF does in the space before we end up, I guess, committing to the whole crypto market like I am. So however you want to look at it, basically your previous all-time high to new all-time high frequencies are going to become a more of a regular scenario, and that frequency is going to increase. Now more than ever is the time to buy. Sure, you're not hearing about Bitcoin, everyone, your grandmother, your sister, brother, aunt, uncle yet, but maybe after this cycle and after these ETFs get approved, that might become more of a regular thing, because whether you like it or not, this is where the world is going. With that, we are done talking about Bitcoin because it's looking super bullish, and that's the message we want to deliver. We're going to be talking about Pepe now, and this one is wild. I guess I tend to make money on these gut feelings because sure, there's a lot of fundamentals that you do need to take into consideration before investing into something risky like Pepe, for example, which is a meme coin. It's not even a year old too. If you do your research and you like the fundamentals behind something, you should invest into it. And overall, let me just say before we dive deeper, this is not financial advice whatsoever, but this is certainly what I am doing. Pepe has been in the crypto space for a little bit longer than this. I have some friends who had invested before this time. They told me about their investments. I definitely didn't take it too seriously. I really don't like to look at things with multiple zeros before them because to me it kind of seems like a joke, right? But we're talking about gains here. We're not talking about what the price of a given piece of property is. This is what people are willing to pay for it, and if I am at this given time because I know other people are gonna drive the price up, why not get involved, right? That's kind of where my head's at. We have your major key players that kind of shook the room last year, which is Doge, Sheeb, and now we have a plethora of other options to choose from. So we're here on CoinGecko. We like to go to categories, and then we go to meme coins because that's what we're invested into, which is, I can't believe I'm even saying that, but hey, where there's money, you will find me there. There's a movie on Pepe that came out in 2020 in regard to the crazy journey that this whole idea has come to be. This guy, Matt Fury, he made this cartoon for a comic called Boys Club. From that, we have Pepe, who became an internet meme in about like 2005. And since then, it's been on this crazy journey. There's a lot of catalysts behind it, and in the least to say, a really strong community of people who have backed this coin as well. Something that's super important to note is that Pepe has stayed a trending meme coin for months. At this point, it's at least been third place, so it's staying consistently, which is very important. And then you can see that out of your meme coins, Pepe's number 3. Dogecoin is your biggest meme coin, and it's obvious that it would be number 1. And then you've got Shiba, which is the knockoff of Doge. The cryptosphere as a whole is showing us that new things can happen every day. Dogecoin, goddamn, that thing got high. Thing was like 80 cents, a high of 74 cents. Dogecoin showed us in the last bull run that anything can happen. This is like GameStop shit. This is 1600%. And to be honest, Dogecoin is probably going to do it again this run. And if you got in here, if you get in right now, you're still looking at like a 4x from where we're at, which this is also showing that we are waking back up in the crypto market as a whole. And this is what happens with these. Don't think it's sweet. This right here is what happens in every single cycle, every single bull run. It's going to go up and it's going to come right back down. And usually it comes right back down to where it started. You see? Sure, if you got in like there, this is the call. A little 17x. So you got to get in early, and that's the point. That's the point I'm trying to make. This thing's been around for a little bit. Everyone knows about Dogecoin. The meme father himself, which we're going to talk about even more, Elon Musk, is whistleblowing Pepe. I think Trump retweeted a tweet or something where it was a Pepe Trump, but it's furthermore garnering publicity. And in this case, any publicity is good publicity because we are looking for purely marketing. There's major exchanges that have been alluding to listing Pepe on their exchange as well, which is extremely important. I recently, it feels like, became heavily vested into Pepe myself here in June, July of 2023, and I placed a few $1,000s in there. Didn't take it too seriously after seeing something like this. It seemed all too early, and I got out with like a 20% loss. Yeah, it was about here that I had exited, and we could just say I was in the middle somewhere. And I felt pretty good about getting out before seeing this, 40% correction? Oh yeah, 60%. This is a little crypto winter, and this one I don't know necessarily has to do with the cycles. I haven't looked into Pepe enough to determine that. All of these meme coins and altcoins in general are dependent upon the major coins themselves, like Bitcoin and Ethereum primarily. It is over here in 2023 that I initially got invested, pulling out, and dodged a bullet here. When I had gotten out and set these alerts, they ended up going off. We can do the math in 60 days. So about 4 or 5 months later, I end up getting these alerts where it's like, hey, this is where you sold, and that's where I ended up getting back in, which had to have been around this area. I'm enjoying my spot. We can just say it was like there, and I've been just sitting on it ever since. I did end up buying, man, I probably quintupled my spot at this point. A lot more than I initially anticipated. It's just because if you look at this as a whole, this is exactly what you're looking for. It's exactly what Doge is doing. It's exactly what all these other meme coins are doing. I am holding my bags right now. We have definitely buckled up, and we are waiting for where we are to go next, but we saw a crazy run here. You could have seen as much as 7x on your money. Those are the plays we're looking for. Let's be real. I'm young. This is the time to be risky. If you're older, I'd recommend diversifying a little bit more. If I weren't out to get such a big bag, I probably would take a bigger bag and diversify exactly like I'm telling you to. But if you want to make some real money, then just like the stock market, you're going to have to get creative. You're going to have to start searching for some of these other products that you can put your money into, which is why we're over here. And it's paying off pretty well. We're going to talk about some of the fundamentals behind Pepe and why I am invested in general. At this point, some of you may have seen that I've been posting a little bit about Pepe on like Instagram, Twitter, whatever. Just to touch on a few things that are really building some momentum for this, it would be starting off with Elon Musk whistleblowing the character in itself. I have a friend who posts some of these memes, and he's had responses from Elon Musk. So this is huge. He's kind of entertaining the fact that this coin exists. Elon did the whole Doge thing. I accept Doge for like Teslas and stuff, which I think is absolutely ridiculous, but at least he's supporting the cause. Seriously. We spoke a little bit about Pepe gets in the mix with Trump a little bit, and now there's a movie that stemmed from it, along with some pretty big organizations. I forget what they're called. I'll figure it out and I'll write them here for you. But there's two major organizations that are trying to frame this character as a hate symbol, and it's only creating that much more, I guess, appeal for the coin in itself, which I think is great. Can't read a book by its cover, and if you did, this one's gonna be just fine, I think. Something else to note is that all major exchanges have listed Pepe, any major one that you can think of except for we've got Coinbase and RobinHood. Coinbase is known to list coins and then have them go absolutely crazy. We saw that with Bonk. That is the last meme coin that they have listed. It was about a year after this was born. Also super important to note, Bonk was created a little bit before it was listed on TradingView, and if so, that puts the year over here, and if Coinbase lists it over here somewhere, you can see the damage. So we're kind of just waiting for Coinbase to list Pepe too, and then we'll be able to see the momentum that brings. There's going to be some of you that say, well, it is listed on Coinbase, but it isn't. It's not, because the main one is what's really important here. It is listed on Coinbase Wallet. So if you want to purchase Ethereum on Coinbase Wallet, transfer it over or convert it over to Pepe, you can do that. The reason why they do that is because Coinbase Wallet is their DEX wallet, their decentralized exchange wallet where you can trade Pepe. Coinbase is more of an on-chain experience, and they're selective on which meme coins they let into the space. It's not listed on Robinhood. Not that I really care about Robinhood, but let's be real. Any amateur that comes into the investing space is touching Robinhood. So Robinhood's probably going to push it. Furthermore, putting fuel on the fire for our whiplash that we're waiting for. There's a lot more money in Pepe than there is Bonk. That volume's disgusting. $300 million is nothing. We've got Pepe pushing 1.3 billion. Those are the beginner numbers that we're looking for. It is super amazing to get in on some of these meme coins or altcoins in general when their market cap is in the hundreds of millions. Their market cap's already 1.5 billion and they're only pushing this much volume. That shows that there's not much action going on over there. Don't know why they listed it, whatever, but let's zoom in. Let's zoom in. It's a dog. Look at this dog with hat. Shiba, Doge, they're all dogs. We are the frog, okay? And it's the only green one. This book of meme just came out, but nobody cares about that. This thing is one of the pump and dump schemes. It's not the original, so you don't want to be a part of it. We're looking for projects with substance. Out of all of them, you can see which one's kind of an early riser. It's still one that you could get into and provides you some serious gains, and that's going to be something we're going to be talking about too. I got in around like the $1.5 billion market cap, maybe even like the $1 billion market cap, but we have floated to almost 4 billion at one point in time. And what's important to note is that we are looking at the market cap this whole cycle. We don't want to look at price. The price is going to be going up. Market cap goes up. There's more money in the security or product, and therefore the price goes up. Supply and demand. And we have a limited amount of supply. So the more people buy it, the higher the price goes. It's just, this is kind of common sense. But what we're doing is chasing down SHIB first, and then we're going for Doge. Okay, if this thing is powerful enough, which I think it might be, we will be flipping Doge. And SHIB will be a walk in the park. Literally. Okay. We should make a meme about that, like a Pepe walking a Shiba Inu. That would be great. But we're not looking for no 15 billion either. We're looking for higher than that. We have some major targets to hit. $10 billion market cap price point, 2.5x from where we're at right now. $20 billion market cap here, and that's 6x from where we're at. $30 billion market cap, which isn't a major one. I just see some consolidation there usually. I think 40 billion right here is a lot more important, but just for shits and giggles, the $30 billion market cap is a 10x. The 40 billion is a 13x. I think 40 billion is extremely attainable. Doge hit 90 billion last cycle. We're going to be chasing down Shiba and Doge. So if they're going to be going above last cycle and you're going to be seeing $100 billion, $300 billion market cap by these guys, Pepe is going to be right behind them, which is way beyond where we're talking right now. We're being a little conservative, if you're asking me. It's risky, but conservative. $50 billion, we have a 16x from where we're at. A $75 billion market cap providing a 25x. Holy grail here, say we hit Dogecoin market cap numbers of 100 billion in Pepe in general. We're looking at a 34x. And don't get me started on if it hits a penny, if it hits a dollar, because motherfuckers are buying jets and yachts. This is just the beginning. My buddy sent me this one. I'm just gonna pop it up here. It shows Pepe compared to Doge, SHIB, and Bonk, and when they were listed on Coinbase, as well as what really happened to them and kind of where we're at right now. I really do think that this is just the beginning. We're probably going to see a bunch of consolidation right here for a little bit, and then in 1 month, it's going to be 1 year old, It's going to be around like April 17th. So imagine like on April 20th, they list Pepe on Coinbase, and it's a meme coin. It's supposed to be funny. There's all these little things behind it outside of the amazing fundamentals. It's gonna go up, and that's only a month away. I really do see a lot of positive things happening for Pepe in the coming few months, and certainly the years going forward. But what's important is that we are talking about this now, because this is the time to put some money in and see where it goes. Look at those lines. I should put a little moon up there. Okay, that's how we're doing it, just like we did it every other time. We look for these bangers and we pull the trigger. True to this, not new to this. It's frogs over dogs, all right? That's what we're doing this year. I just think this is going to be something of a super cycle, which load the boats, right? Hodl away. Whatever money you don't need, put it there. Honestly, use it as a bank account, not financial advice. It's a crypto market as a whole in general. I think it's in a very good place. We're seeing a lot of growth across the board. Everything you're seeing, even with the recent pullback from all-time highs, I think this is super normal. I mean, if you want me to be real, we reached new all-time high before the halving, which means we should be pulling back a little bit, but not before we go up again, because that's just how it goes. We're about to go off. That's just what Bitcoin does. This is totally normal. I don't think anyone should be sweating this. We want to be real. We could even go down to like absolutely not. I was going to say that. Where you can see some consolidation. Maybe we go to 62K, but from there it's just going to be a quick rebound. You've seen it before. We had a pullback here. This wasn't that long ago. This was January. It's March. This is 2 months ago. We had a 20% pullback, and that lasted 12 days. Not even 2 weeks, or 20% pullback. And we regained all of that in another 20 days. So this is just what the crypto market does. Consolidation is good. You need to see it come down before it goes up. This is healthy. Things just don't go straight up, and things don't just go straight down unless it's a scam. Crypto's been around for a while now. I mean, this market cycle from 2020 to 2024, mint. Fire. I'm sure a lot of people my age in their mid-20s to 30s are aware of this thing, but the important part is to tell the people you care about and get them on board, because this is where serious money is going to be made. And just like, what is it, we'll do like the S&P 500. Boring. Just like it was since 2008 to 2018. That's just a decade of just gains, right? That's probably what we're going to see with the crypto industry as a whole. Yeah, it looks nice, but now the world is finally hearing about it. Yeah, straight gains yet again. Just like I said, not without typical turbulence. You know what I'm saying? Some periodic pullbacks. That's what happens. That's how it goes. But like this one here, pull back for 20%, just like Bitcoin. This one lasted a fucking year. And then it took how long to get that back? 2 fucking years, bro. No thanks. All right, Cryptosphere is where it's at. It's brand new. It's only just getting started. Shit happens fast, so keep your head on a swivel. And if you like this video, make sure you like it, share with a friend, and maybe I'll make some more. But I thought this was a well overdue piece of content I needed to make. Appreciate you for watching, so don't forget to subscribe. Deuces.